Okay, so hi Nicole. I was just wanting to check in for your supervision and to see how your groups are going and how everything's going for you. So if you wanted to let me know how everything's going.
Actually, it has not been going well. It was going okay up until today. It had a really bad, upsetting group today, I feel like. So I'm glad we're having the supervision today so I
Yeah,
can talk about it.
yeah. So tell me what happened.
One of well, for our group today, first of all, we decided to talk about the way trauma can affect your addiction, your use of substances. Um, and one of the people in my group uh, got up and stormed out. She said that she didn't even know um, how a white therapist could help her. And I just couldn't believe that she was being that racist, that she would think that me as a white therapist couldn't help her. So I'm just really frustrated. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it sounds really frustrating. Sounds like it would be really difficult. So how did you handle it after that?
Well, I wasn't sure what to do, but I didn't want to disrupt the group too much. I said, I think I just said something about how, there are some really difficult topics for people to talk about. And so, we have to be understanding of other people's opinion or, expressions. And if anyone else is having trouble, they could stop the group at any time if they wanted to, and we could debrief it later. Um, and then I just tried to continue the group from there.
Okay.
Um, and I tried to, check in with people to make sure everybody was feeling okay about their outburst, just to make sure there wasn't any
Right.
reactions. But yeah,
That sounds appropriate. It's always good to check in with people because an outburst like that during group can kind of impact some of the other group members, and you just don't know how it will impact people. So have you ever had a chance to talk about cultural differences with the group?
you know, that's not really been a topic of our group. We've mainly just focused on substance abuse and addictions. And I feel like if I'm doing a good job, then I just didn't think of that as something that needed to be talked about. Because I don't feel like I'm racist, so I don't see why that would be an issue.
Right, yeah. So how do you think that culture affects the group and like addiction issues?
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, we were specifically talking about trauma. Um, so I'm sure that this person has had different experiences that were traumatic because of her uh, or her ethnic background. So I guess it probably would have been a pretty relevant topic to bring up now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that we'll have to kind of reevaluate how we're doing the groups and the content, and just maybe starting out with when we are meeting new people, kind of having that conversation out in the open with them.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm not even sure how I would have that conversation though.
Well, do you want to maybe role play a conversation like that?
Sure, that would be helpful. Sure, okay.
So maybe it would be helpful if you took the role of the person who has a different cultural background, and me as like a white supervisor who you don't really feel understands you.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So let's see. So let's start off the group where I'm talking about Trump. All right. So I'll just kind of jump in.
Okay.
So I want to ask all the group members how trauma has affected their addictions, and what do you feel like has really been traumatic for you in the past, and how it is linked to your addiction.
Okay. Um, I've experienced a lot of I guess I've experienced a lot of times where I feel that people have been not treating me fairly because of how they view me because of my race. I just, like people follow me around in stores sometimes. I've just had a lot of people. It's just been very stressful for me.
Yeah. And how do you think that your race affects your relationships with people, especially people of different racial backgrounds?
I think it makes it difficult. I think that people don't understand some of the stuff that I've had to face, and they just think that I'm, pulling the race card or something, when really I've had some significant experiences in my life that they're completely ignoring. So it makes it hard for me to trust other people sometimes and feel that they know what's going on with me.
Yeah. So since you and I are different races, you are of African American descent, and I am white. How do you think that affects our trust?
It's usually a lot more difficult for me to have a relationship with you, definitely. Like, I don't necessarily trust that you're going to understand where I'm coming from. So
That makes sense. So how do you think that we can how do you think that we can sorry, I'm forgetting the word for it, make our relationship better?
I think actually having this conversation was a good step in the right direction. I appreciate that you cared and you were putting it out there and recognizing that it's an issue. So I can see now how this might work for me with my client, because I can definitely see it's hard for me to take on this person's role completely because I don't have their experience, but they've obviously experienced a lot of stuff that I haven't. So
Yeah, and I mean, as you can see, it's not the most comfortable conversation.
yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be hang-ups, and you could always say the wrong thing, and just you got to remember that it's not always the end of a relationship if you mess up. So just keep putting it out there, be as open and honest as you really can, and I think that's really what you can do right now with your group, and hopefully you're able to reach out to this person and have a one-on-one conversation with them. How do you think that that you would feel about that?
I think that I really like that idea. I think that would be really helpful, and I hope that they are able to they feel comfortable enough with me to have that conversation. So.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so do you have anything else that you wanted to talk about?
No, I think that was it. Thanks for your help today.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm glad that we had this conversation, and hopefully, we can talk about it some more if it comes up again.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, I'll see you later.
Okay, see you.